Tea Breakfast Show. It's a very special day of the week. It is, of course, our Grati-Tuesday, and that means that we are being joined by the lovely Father Neil. Borda, and good morning.
Borada, good morning to you, Gina. Borada, good morning to you, Tom, as well.
Borda, sut o'i ti? How are you getting on?
Iawn, iawn. A chi?
Da iawn, diolch. Dwi'n bendigedig.
Yay!
Yay! The sun is shining, Father Neil, and that's one thing that I'm grateful for this morning.
Absolutely.
It puts me into a better frame of mind. I know that for definite. And you've just walked in from it.
I have, and actually, I've been wearing sunglasses this morning. For the first time this year, I put sunglasses on to drive around here because the sun was shining through the car windscreen, so I thought, better be safe than sorry. So, yes, they've come out for the very first time.
Are you putting your sunglasses on top of your glasses, though, or have you got those things, where they go whoop, whoop?
No, I've got a pair of prescription sunglasses.
That's it.
If you're watching this, make me look like Tom Cruise, or at least I think make me look like Tom Cruise. So,
Father Neil, you look like part of the rock show.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's the beard and the glasses together. So I'll leave them on for the rest of the segment, shall I? And that way I can amp up my cool rating.
That's fantastic. All right, Toby's got transitions. He comes in with it with his shades on. I love it.
The future's so bright. You got to wear shades.
Yes, indeed. We've had some good news. And you just mentioned the rock show there quickly. It's tonight at 9 o'clock. You can listen back tomorrow at purewestradio.com. We have had good news.
We have.
There's a lot to be grateful for at the moment. What are you bringing to us here this morning, Father Neil?
Sheds.
Sheds.
Yes.
I'm grateful for
sheds. I am, yeah. I spent Saturday, it was a really warm day, and I spent 7 hours cleaning out the shed, clearing everything out, getting rid of all the rubbish, and putting it all back in. Everything was ordered. Everything is now neat and tidy. We got some new stacking shelves. We put everything back in its place, and we've liberated about 2/3 of the shed that was full of absolute rubbish. And it took me back to when I was a child and I used to go and visit my grandparents, and they had a shed each in the bottom of the garden. My grandfather's was full of woodworking tools, and it smelt of sawdust, and it had all sorts of exotic drills and lathes in it. And my grandmother's was a potting shed. So it was full of that deep, dark soil and little seedlings and hose and trowels and seeds, and both of them smelt completely different, but both of them were somehow places that I felt I was transported to another world. And I know that for both of my grandparents, their sheds were places of refuge, places of sanctuary, I suppose. And that word sanctuary is what resonates with me. You don't have to have a shed, but most of us should have a place where we can go, where we can relax and filter the rest of the world out. It may be just a favorite windowsill where you can sit and watch the world go by, or if it's a rainy day, wrap yourself up in a blanket with a good book, or listen, of course, to Pure West Radio. Jesus himself used to take time off and go out into the wilderness, away from all of the crowds, and just concentrate on his relationship with God the Father. And for some people, their virtual shed will actually be walking in the Preselles, or going down to Broadhaven Beach, or somewhere where they find themselves in the midst of nature. Now, those of you who can see me online will realize from my girth that exercise and I have gone in different directions in our lives when bed was at all. So I much prefer to, now that I've cleaned and tidied it out, have a shed in my garden so that I can sit down and relax, count my screws, and listen to Pure West Radio on the app.
Oh, fantastic.
Lovely. And you've got that shed space, haven't you, Tom? But it's not actually a shed, but you have got that space. You've been telling me all about it this week.
Well, I was just about to ask you for your sanctuary, but I'll go through mine first. Yes, my door is above the garage, which is basically my mum's shed, and we have to walk up a flight of stairs to get into the property, and we've got this unfettered view out towards Newgale. There's just nothing out to beyond Roach, and you can see the road, and you can see all the little micro cars on the main road there. And we've recently just got some chairs and a nice little table that we can put out there. It's not massive. It's not much bigger than this table in the studio that we're in, but it fits 2 chairs, a box that we can store things in, a place for your cup of tea, and as you say, putting on Pure West Radio with a book in hand, and just particularly with the weather looking like it's going to brighten up over the next couple of weeks, that's going to become my sanctuary without having to travel anywhere, which is lovely, just to step outside literally and enjoy that. Gina, have you got a place of sanctuary? Have you got a place that you can retreat to?
Well, I have actually. I've got 2 places. I spend a lot of time in my shed, but I also enjoy being in my little cwtch, and that's my bedroom. I do call it the cwtch, and I do spend a lot of time in there, even just sort of sitting on the bed, cushions, pillows up behind me, and I do a lot of show writing and notes, and just sort of that. It's that my little space actually, and so that's my cwtch shed.
It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be, as Gina said, a separate building at the bottom of the garden or anything like this. But everybody, be grateful for those places in your lives where you can cwtch, where you can find a little bit of sanctuary. So today, on Grati-Tuesday, let's celebrate the shed, virtual or otherwise.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Father Neil, as ever, bringing us a perspective that we might not have considered on this Grati-Tuesday morning. It's lovely. Thank you so much. We'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. Alive and Kicking. We'll be back on Sunday morning. You can catch up with you and Reverend Sophie.
Absolutely, yes. Hopefully she'll turn up on time.
That sounds loaded.
Yeah, well, I know she was a little bit late for Grati-Tuesday last week, and I promised her that I would mention it on the radio. And so, Sophie, I have.
Oops,
We'll give her a half an hour call.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll do that. We've got some Lady Gaga, some Christina Milian, and some Ariana Grande for you. It's 9:15, and of course, some traffic and travel. Some people find driving their sanctuary as well. I know that I love going for a spin, finding new beaches and new coves. Father Neil, as ever, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Eaton Evans and Morris is a client-focused